Hi, welcome to the 2020 December edition of the Chamber Corner. I'm Bill Woodard, and we hope you enjoy the show. Well, we have Miss Pam Ferris with us here today, but it better, Pam, introduce yourself and tell them who you're with.
I am Pam Ferris, and I am the director of Smith County Help Center here in Carthage, Tennessee.
Okay, and the Help Center, some people might not know exactly what you guys do, so just give us a brief description of what you guys do.
We help Smith Countyans with utilities and food boxes. Right now, we're also doing the Angel Tree to December the 14th to help children with Christmas. We also help with emergency lodging. If you're trapped on the interstate, we'll do one night of lodging in the hotel.
Okay, and how do you fund these programs?
Strictly by donations.
Donations?
Donations, okay. And monetary donations.
And monetary donations, but a lot of your donations come in the back door, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah.
Right there.
What do you get? What's the kind of stuff you
get? We get everything. We get everywhere, things from clothes to miscellaneous items, furniture, and all of our food we have to buy. We spend probably anywhere between $600 to $800 a week on groceries.
Okay, and when you say you have to buy food, you're buying non-perishable stuff so that people can take it with them. Okay, how many folks work down there with you?
We have 10 employees right now, counting myself.
Okay, okay, when are you open?
We're open from 10 to 4, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 2 on Saturdays.
Okay, and I know a lot of times when we're having a special event on the square or something going on, you guys open up during those things too.
Yes, sir, we sure do.
Of course, we missed Hometown Christmas because of the rain.
We didn't. We were open.
You were open? All right, good deal. Well, I'm glad to hear that. The Help Center is board governed.
Yes.
So you have several people in the community that are on your board, and I guess you guys meet on a regular basis, and they kind of...
We do.
You give reports to them, is that right?
Yes, we do. We meet once a month, and I tell them everything that we have handled that month, how many clients I've seen. Probably last year we fed anywhere from 1,300 to 1,400 people.
Okay, so that's a big task.
That is a big task.
Well, I've been in the store. The store looks nice, and you have a lot of clothes and a lot of different items in there. And of course, you are going to be a bargain for whatever somebody's buying, right?
Yes, and we have our clothes on special for a while at 99 cents. So
okay.
That's a big deal for people trying to buy Christmas and school clothes and stuff. So come in and shop around. You never know what you're going to find.
Well, that's true. I went in there one time and I was walking by. I was coming in to see you, and I looked over and I saw on the rack a piece of clothing, and it still had the tags on it.
Yes, we have our special item is at the front of the store, and it's new items, and they're a little bit more than 99 cents. It's anywhere between $4 and $6 on that rack.
Okay. Well, is there anything we missed?
I think you've covered it.
Okay. Well, Pam, thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, we are blessed here to have Mr. Dan Hodge with us of the Carthage Hodges, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Dan, why don't you tell them again your name and who you're with?
My name is Dan Hodge. I own and operate the little shop in town now called Things Engraved, and we just moved here this year.
Okay, and you moved out of Nashville. I think you had a place down.
Well, it was actually in Franklin and Cool Springs.
Cool Springs, yeah.
We were there for about 20 years.
Yeah, we have a bad habit around here of anything in Nashville or Davidson County, I should say, we call Nashville, and that's not necessarily true when you're down there, is it?
No, Middle Tennessee, Franklin area is a whole other. It's really growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many home offices there of major corporations that I grew up in the area long ago in the 70s, and it has changed so much.
Yeah, I imagine it was residential more.
Oh, yeah, that and farmland.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you've moved back up here to Smith County, and your shop's off on Main Street there, is that correct?
Correct, right across from the courthouse.
Okay, and you go to it's the first building on the sidewalk.
Yes.
As you're
correct.
Going, I got my direction here north. As you're going north, I believe. It's the first building on the
right.
sidewalk as you come in, and do you have to go into the alcove there to get
Yeah,
to the
there's a
place?
little alley or hallway that goes down the center of left and right of the building. But yeah, we decided to move. We've been planning to move probably for about a year and a half, 2 years. My wife and I both have 3 aging parents that need a lot more oversight. So that was the big decision for moving it. Of course, I've been commuting for 20 years and wore out about 3 cars going back and forth. But to start that kind of business in this small of a town would have been very difficult, a big struggle to make a go of it. So that's why we started it in the Nashville area. We started off actually in the Opry Mills Mall and stayed there for about 2 years, and then decided to move to the Franklin area. We looked at several other areas in Middle Tennessee, and Franklin was really underserved with our type of service, our type of products. So we thought that was the best place to move, and it really worked out well for us.
Okay, well, and you've always had your residence here in Smith County.
Yes, we've lived here for right at 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
My wife grew up in the area.
Well, the products that you have, all Things Engraved, that obviously tells you one of the things that you do. You do engraving on plaques and things like that. What else, or is there?
Oh gosh, so many things that can be marked somehow, shape, or form, personalized. Anything from glassware to leather items to even liquor bottles. It's just all kinds of things. We have several different processes of marking items, depending on what it's made of and how it's shaped and that sort of thing.
Okay, so you can basically engrave about anything then, if they want to bring it in, or
Well,
if you've got stuff
maybe we
there.
should have named the company Some Things Engraved instead of All Things. There are a few things we can't do, but most things we're able to accommodate. Just common sense would tell you that something can be marked or not. But people bring us things all the time, everything from handbags to, like I said, liquor bottles to champagne flutes for their wedding to, you just name it. We carry a lot of that stuff in-house, but we just don't profess to carry everything that everybody needs or wants. But when the COVID thing hit back in March, it just decimated our strip center that we had been in forever. And so we just took that opportunity to move a few months earlier than what we had already planned. But it's really worked out good. We were in mayhem for about a month moving. You can't take a 20-year business and just move it quickly. But we made the best go of it, and we've been up and running ever since. We just haven't really, I guess, made it public. In the local area here, it's been happening word of mouth. We brought a long list of clients with us. So we're actually bringing new commerce to the town without even trying, because the people are still calling, reordering things that they've ordered year after year and that sort of thing. So we do just so many different types of businesses and so many individual items that I just can't even count.
Well, it's wonderful that the business has followed you up here. Well, how do people get in touch with you if they have a question, or do you have?
Well, we have a number that we've had for the past 20 years, and we're in the, listed in Google, whatever way you want to search. We also have a website, allthingsengraved.com. You can see some of our work there. If you go to the website and click on the gallery button, it will show you a lot of our work that we've done for people that have brought things in they've bought elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty interesting things. We've done some very unusual things. I think probably one of our most popular items is when we scan someone's handwriting, let's say a recipe that was written in maybe a deceased grandma's handwriting, and we scan that and then engrave it on different items, like mainly cutting boards is what people do, a lot of that. Then we have people that bring their firearms in, and they're giving it as a gift, and we engrave different things on it. We just did a beautiful Henry rifle for an Eagle Scout. Dad was giving it to his son, who is achieving Eagle Scout. We're just so involved maybe a lot in the country music business. We do the awards each year for the Musicians Hall of Fame. That's a big outfit in downtown Nashville. They've taken over the municipal auditorium, and they award musicians from all over the country that have achieved lifetime status of their music. And we're involved in, we did the country, not the Ryman Auditorium, but the Grand Ole Opry at Opryland or Opry Mills area. That they have a wall backstage that has copper plates, and we were hired by a design team to put all of the Opry members on the copper plates, and all the living members at the time. And it's a beautiful display. If you can look it up on their webpage and see it. But just a lot of things that we've been, just a variety of different things that I would have never guessed that we would have come in contact with up there. So pretty interesting work.
That's very interesting. Well, I'm glad you came by.
Well, we appreciate the invite.
Do you, if they want to get you, Google all Things Engraved.
Yep.
And they can find you, and you're right here on Main Street in Carthage. Yep. All right. Well, Dan, thank you a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Mary Draper, and I'm the Family and Consumer Science Extension Agent for the county, and I'm also the FCE advisor. And today I have with me Miss Ann Wagner. She's a member of the Grant FCE Club, and she's also our 2021 new FCE County Council President. So Miss Ann, lots of times at the office we get asked, what is FCE? So what would be a good definition for that for you?
Well, first of all, you need to know what FCE stands for, and that's Family Community Education. And that really encompasses what our organization is all about. I think the family component, to me, kind of originated with when the organization was called Home Demonstration. And so I think you think about family, you think about nurturing, you think about growing a relationship and loving on one another. And then we have education, and that just seems to follow suit to what you want the people you care about to be informed about things and learn new things. And then the community component is just community. And so that's our organization. We strive to do things not only for ourselves, but to benefit our community, to educate one another, to educate others on a range of topics. So that's what FCE is.
Very great definition. So why did you join FCE?
Oh, wow. That's a long story. I'll try to condense it as much as I can. My mother, Jenny Stewart, was a member for several years after she moved back when my dad retired from the Air Force. And then when she became ill and it became necessary for me to move back home to help my dad take care of her, every once a month she would get this newsletter. And it was from the Extension Office. And in it was everything that all of the different clubs, the FCE clubs, would be doing for the month, along with other activities that they might have been involved with in the community. And I would read the entire newsletter to her. So I knew what FCE was, but I really didn't have any idea how you could become a member. And then one day I was doing a training with another organization, and I met Miss Janice Lynch, who is a long-term member of FCE, and she just asked me if I would like to come. Actually, it was the spring rally. She said, "Would you like to come to an event?" And I said, sure. I was new in the area and didn't know anybody, didn't have any friends. And so that's how I got drawn in, I guess, to FCE and became an instant member of Grant. And from there, I've just blossomed.
Yes, Miss Ann does a wonderful job for both her club and our county council. She's always involved in all the things we do, just like we had a yearbook making party earlier today, and Miss Ann was one of the volunteers to help us put our FCE yearbook together. So this year has been a little bit different than years past. So what would you say was the best part of this year that you've had in FCE? What's your favorite part?
You know what, that really is easy because we've been very limited in meeting as clubs together because of COVID. But last month we had the most amazing virtual Central Region retreat. And that was a 3-day event, all online. But the workshops that we had, the demonstrations that were presented, the seminars that were held, just totally outstanding. And so that was the highlight of the year for me.
Very good. And Miss Ann was also just so good to help with our FCE Mask of Love project here in the county. She made, how many masks did you make for the community?
I don't think I set the record by any means, but I probably made about 200 or so. And I'm still getting asked to make some because apparently this COVID is not going away yet. And so I guess I'm just going to have to make some masks for the holidays with reindeers and
holiday Yes. Well, very good. Thank you so much, Miss Ann, for coming out to talk to us today. We have 9 FCE clubs throughout the community, and as I said, Miss Ann is in our Grant FCE club, and each club has their own personality. So we really invite you to join any of our clubs, but if you'd like to visit all of them, we definitely want you to do that as well. We hope to meet again in the new year for 2021, and if you have any questions about the FCE clubs, you can always give us a call at the Extension office at 615-735-2900.
Hey everybody, Katie Martin here with Smith County 4-H. It has been a different year, but it is still a busy one for Smith County 4-H. This past month in the classrooms, we have been doing speeches. Want to give a special thank you to all the teachers and parents, grandparents who helped their 4-H'er create, write, and practice their speech. We had some great speeches in the classroom, and we are looking forward to a county contest this month and the sub-regional contest in January. January will also be the month where we will have our poster club contest in the classroom. So if you have a 4-H'er that wants to make a poster, feel free to work on that throughout the month of December and have that ready for them to bring to school in the month of January. These 4-H posters are used as a miniature billboard for 4-H, so as long as they're promoting 4-H, they are free to enter. We have several other events going on in December, like our holiday crafting Zoom. We would love any 4-H member to sign up and participate in this Zoom. It is totally free and you can join from anywhere. One of the beauties of being online and virtual. We will put together some kits, so you'll have the supplies and equipment you need to make the craft right along with us. So do make sure you call the office and register so we can have a crafting kit ready for you. We also are starting our practices for horse bowl and hippology. So if you have a horse-loving 4-H member, these contests would be a great opportunity for them. You do not have to own a horse, you do not even have to know anything about horses, but if you are wanting to learn, these contests are a great place to start. As always, if you have questions about any of the activities going on with Smith County 4-H, feel free to reach out to me by email at kclark54@utk.edu, or you can always give us a call at the office at 615-735-2900. Thanks so much.
We're happy to have Mr. Chris Hicks here with us. Chris, go ahead and introduce him, and they can read your shirt and tell who you're with, but tell them anyway.
I'm Chris Hicks with the local University of Tennessee Extension office here in Smith County.
All right, and you always have an exciting topic to talk about, but before you do that, you had a lunch and learn today. Is that right here at the chamber?
We did.
What was the session today?
So today we learned about holiday plants. So we had Lucas Holman with the UT Extension in Wilson County who came and talked about things like poinsettias, African violets, Christmas cactuses, things like that, and talked about how to care for those plants. and it was really good. We also, not only did we have it live for those who wanted to come and be here live, we also had it broadcast virtually via Zoom. Chamber of Commerce has a really nice setup that allows us to do that via Zoom. We appreciate you guys allowing us to use the facility. Worked really well. We had, a handful. We had probably a dozen here that were spread out in the room, but also we had about 30 who were joining us online, which was pretty neat. We were able to allow a bigger audience than we were able to have here at the facility.
And a wider broadcast.
Sure,
I'm sure they were not all from Smith County.
Yeah, we had as far as Nashville going west, and as far as Bedford County going kind of south, so they were spread out all over Middle Tennessee.
Okay, well that is a good thing. I'm glad we were able to assist in that. Sure. And by the way, those Zoom rooms, they're proceeds of a grant from TVA, and then we also had Vol State, MTSU involved, and then we had some of our local banks. They contributed to it. We've had several people that really helped us with getting that Zoom room, so we're really proud to have that. They're offering classes here at the Chamber with that. So
great asset.
It is.
County to have.
So anyway, I interrupted. You had something else you wanted to talk about.
No, I would just I would mention, after the first of the year, we will kick back up with our meetings, and 2021 will hopefully look different than 2020, maybe in a good way. But we're planning as if we're going to be able to do some face-to-face things, and if we're not able to do it face-to-face, we'll also offer a virtual component. So some of the things that we've offered in the past, like Master Beef. Like some of our crop meetings, we're still going to try to have those face-to-face for farmers to come. But for those who don't feel comfortable attending in person, we're going to give them a virtual option as well. So hopefully they'll still get that education. And the virtual option does allow us to bring in some speakers, not only from across the state, but we can bring in speakers across the nation. And have some pretty unique topics and some pretty unique speakers. So I think that's a positive, but we also want to keep that face-to-face, because to me, Bill, I think that's one of the advantages that we have at the Extension office. People can call us, people can come by our office and make an appointment, sit down and talk to us face-to-face. You can get a lot of information off of Google, but you can get information that is applicable in Smith County by coming to our office and talking to the folks at the Extension office, and I think that's where our value lies. So I'm excited about those meetings that we'll have next year. But I want folks to know that we're still here. Our offices are open, and we would like you to make an appointment so that we don't have 5 or 6 in the office at the same time. We can kind of spread folks out, but we want you to come and see us and utilize the services that your tax dollars go to fund.
Okay, and I know you guys are a real big asset for the farmers around here, but you also help people with lawns and
Sure.
and with their little forest and gardens and
Sure.
things like that. So a real big asset for you to be here in the county. Anything we've missed?
Well, the Lunch and Learn, we mentioned the one we had today. We don't have the schedule finalized for 2021, but we are going to do those on the first Wednesday of the month. Maybe not every month in 2021, but pencil that in. On Wednesdays, the first Wednesday of the month, we'll have more information coming out. I know we'll send that to the Chamber to send out in the Monday memo, and we'll try to advertise those. But we'll do some gardening topics again and some livestock and various things at our Lunch and Learn programs. For $5, I think it's the cheapest meal you can get, and a good deal.
And it's a good meal too, by the way.
We try to have a good meal and a good educational program where you learn something. So we enjoy doing it and hope to continue.
Okay. All right. Well, Chris, really appreciate you coming by. Appreciate what UT Extension does here in the county. You guys are a valuable asset, to say the least.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Okay, Mary has come by from the Drug Prevention Coalition. I always get tongue-tied when I try to say that.
We do
Mary,
too.
just for clarity, introduce yourself, tell them who you're with.
My name is Mary Leslie Wakefield, and I'm with the Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition.
Okay, and you guys are located on Water Street?
Yes, we just moved. It's 115 Water Street. If you want to come by and see us, just drop in.
Okay, and I think Miss Barbara also has an office up in the historic courthouse. Is
She
that right?
does. It's the first room on the left. So again, if you want to see Miss Barbara, she doesn't mind drop-ins.
Okay, now you guys do a lot of things, and you have so many things going on. What are you here to talk about today?
Well, we wanted to talk about our monthly meeting. We've been having them on the second Wednesday of the month here at the Chamber, but we're going to change starting January. We are changing to the second Thursday, still going to be here at the Chamber, 12 o'clock, and we usually provide a lunch, and we do education, and we give you opportunities if you want to participate and join the coalition. So that's going to be starting in January.
Okay, and I think you said the day, but what day is it? Or
it'll be the second Thursday. We're going to have the rest of the year. It'll be the second Thursday.
Okay, and you're doing these every month.
Monthly, yes.
Okay.
Now, in saying that, we're going to be having our December meeting, but we are going to be doing it by Zoom, just because the numbers have been rising with COVID. So we've decided to do a Zoom meeting, and our next meeting in December, we've chosen the topic of suicide because around Christmas Day time and the holidays, that is it's sorry to say, but it's a frequent occurrence. And right now in the state of Tennessee, you can look at the Tennessee Child Fatality Database, and for the second year in a row, the suicide is the #1 cause of death in 15 to 17 years old, and it's the second cause of death in 10 to 14 years old. But because we have so many deaths in the 15 to 17-year-old category, it is now the #1 leading cause of death in our teenagers. And that is so concerning.
That is a sad statistic.
Yes, and because suicide is so preventable, there's you can go to the Tennessee Prevention Network, Suicide Prevention Network. They have all kind of information on there. They have warning signs. They have what you can do, how you can talk to your child. Don't ever be afraid to talk to your children if you think they're experiencing anxiety or depression. Some parents are reluctant to do that. They think, well, if I say suicide, I'm putting that thought in their head. But that's not true. What the thought you're putting in their head is, I care about you and I want to help you. So there are some numbers that you can call to get help. There's the National Suicide Prevention number, and that's 1-800-273-TALK. The state of Tennessee has a number. It's 855-CRISIS-1. Or some people don't like to call and they'd rather text. And we actually have the text number right here on our sign, and it's Tennessee in quotation marks, and it's 741-741. So we just want people to know that there is help out there. There is help available. We need to do everything we can do to prevent this because, it's just so sad now that it's the #1 cause of death in our teenagers.
Oh, yeah, and it is a sad statistic. And, of course, it's a danger for adults and anyone else in life when they reach a rough spot.
Well, it's actually one of the leading causes of death in the state of Tennessee now. We have so many suicides. Veterans have been hit really hard with suicide rates. Farmers, when I heard that one, I was really surprised, but they say, farming is not I guess the profession it used to be, or maybe it's harder to make a living, but farmers, the suicide rate is higher now.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that because all of our image that we have in our mind is of an idyllic scene in farmhouse and the chickens and the ducks and pigs, and so it's sometimes people do get into situations where they need to talk to someone, and that's what this is about. Yes,
those lines you can call, they're trained people, they will help you. And, sometimes just talking to somebody, that might be all you need. Maybe you were concerned about your child and you come to find out it wasn't depression or anxiety, it was maybe a physical problem that they could help you work that out. So don't hesitate to call, get help. There's no shame in it. And if they want to call the Drug Prevention Coalition, how do they reach you guys? Our number is 615-588-1622. And we also have a website, smithcountydrugprevention.com. or .org, I'm sorry. And just if you have any questions, call us. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mary Leslie. Appreciate you coming by. Is there anything we missed?
No, I think we got it all, and we appreciate you, Bill, and we appreciate the Smith County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, thank you very much. Well, Tiffy stopped by here at the Chamber to talk to us a little bit. Tiffy, tell them who you are and who you with.
Okay. My name is Tiffy Clemens, and I'm with American Solutions for Business, which is a promotional product company that can help you promote your business and put your name on pretty much anything that you have in mind or help solve your solution issues for your business.
Okay, now we're going to go over this at the end, but how do they get in touch with you? We'll do that first and last.
Actually, my cell phone number is 615-210-3553. My email address is tclemens with one M, CLEMONS, at AmericanBusBus.com. And my office phone number is 615-735-9488.
Okay, we'll repeat that afterwards.
Sure.
Now, you brought some items to show us. You want to just go through those things and tell us about it?
Sure. Pretty much anything that you want to put your company name on or personalize, we can actually handle that for you, from promotional gifts to printing to custom pieces. For example, below is actually one of the custom boxes that we did for Rackley Roofing. Then we also do caps and apparel, and these were veterans caps that we did. There's also some mugs that we've done, and then there's other paper products. And of course, ice scrapers are really important right now going into the winter season. And so there's just tons of things that we can do, from small items to pens or notepads, all the way up to jackets and apparel or custom mugs and tumblers. Pretty much anything like that we can do for your company.
Well, and you can even do big things like tents,
Yes,
stages.
sir.
We've
Yes,
experienced some of that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that very much. We actually have done several tents for local businesses here in the area, and matter of fact, we're working on a stage currently right now, and retractables to set in your business lobby, or T-shirts, or like I say, even down to a pen or something small that you're needing, or a pack of matches.
Okay, and you do the roll-up display?
Yes, sir. We do banners and signs and even paper print, down to actually we can design and print and mail cards, letters, newsletters, or brochures.
Okay, is there a place they can go and look at some of this stuff?
They can actually go onto our website, which is AmericanBusBus.com.
Okay, so if they see something there that they want, then they can call you locally. On the website, does it have a way to get to you as well?
It does. It asks you for local contacts. You can put my name in there. It'll search and find me and give you my information, or you can just search local contacts and it'll be in there.
And of course, you're listed with the Chamber of Commerce too, so if
Yes, sir.
you get out there and you don't know where to look, come to the Chamber of Commerce page, and you can find Tiffy and several other people here that do business locally and do a great job.
Yes, and another benefit for being a Chamber member is they have a rack in here where you can put your business cards on. So if you're in the area, you can drop by and pick up a card for anything that you pretty much need in the area, and support your local businesses, especially now during this year of COVID.
Yeah, well, and since you mentioned that, we have maps and brochures and magazines, all talking about things that are going on here locally. If you want to know what's going on in Granville or in Carthage or Gordonsville or in Nashville even, we've got brochures and books about that. So you can make it a dual visit. You get the business card too.
That's right. It's a great resource for people in the community.
Yeah, and we have a lot of folks come in from outside. They'll get off the interstate and they come here to find out what's in Smith County, and it's kind of pleasant when somebody comes in and they want to know about the area. You know, it's a wonderful area, and I like talking about it.
Yes.
Anyway, Tiffy, tell them your contact information again.
My name is Tiffy Clemens. My cell phone number is 615-210-3553. My email address is tclemens@americanbus.com, or my office number is 615-735-9488.
All right, now we'll put you on the spot. What's the most popular Christmas item that you have?
Oh my gosh, it depends upon your business. Business is just, it's generated somewhat by that. So most customers say, I want something that stays around for a while and that's visible. So it just really depends upon what your area is.
Okay, well,
So
I was thinking maybe the mugs, but...
they are very popular, mugs are. And of course, they've gone a lot to stainless steel now and double wall lined, and so it doesn't sweat and different things of that nature. So,
right, everybody's got to have one of those special mugs.
That's right.
All right, and you can supply it.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Okay, we're blessed to have Mayor Jeff Mason come by and visit with us, and we're going to kind of just converse just a little bit, Mayor, if you don't care.
Well, we're both pretty good at that.
Yeah, we can handle
we,
that.
you know, if you're just talking, man, you're pretty good at that.
Well, there's a lot going on. 2020 has been I don't know what to call it, an amazing, scary, exciting. It's been the kind of year no one expected. There we go.
Very unexpected.
Year no one expected.
Very unexpected.
And the county, as far as I can tell, is doing pretty good.
We're weathering the storm every day. You know, speaking of storm, you know, this. If you think back and what seems like. And I said this a while back, the last 8 months have been the longest 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
But you know, if you go back to early March, you know, January, February was pretty normal and moving along. You know, there was talk of a virus overseas, but we didn't really think about it. And then March, we had our tornado.
Right.
So that started off, and shortly thereafter, the world changed completely because COVID was all over and taking, you know, and at that point in time, it took Smith County, you know, we were watching and it took a while before Smith County ever got our first case. And then, you know, from there it's been ups and downs, and we'll, you know, our numbers go down 2 or 3 days and they go back up and down, you know, but, you know, as we say every day in our Facebook posts, we don't want to live in fear. We don't want to panic because we're going to get through this. It's just when that's going to happen, you know, there's talk of the vaccine coming out. I don't know how that's, you know, that maybe that's going to change things or stuff. But eventually this is going to go away and we'll be back to something normal. But yes, I mean, if you look at our county today versus where we were, you know, to sit here and tell you that COVID has, outside of the health aspects and the loss of those 20 lives that have been and the families that have been affected by this virus, it's a very serious situation. But if you look at our local economy, well, as we know, Bill, on the square, we've got several new businesses, several new restaurants coming to Carthage. Gormsville's got some new things coming, some businesses opening up over there, you know. So that's been really good. I hear talk and the people I deal with, and I'm sure you hear the same thing. This real estate market right now in Smith County is as hot as it's ever been, and you know, and so that's good. Our unemployment rate jumped up during the COVID, but it's on its way back down. I know of several, you know, if you're looking for a job, you don't have a job. Dana had a job fair last week, I believe it was, so they're looking for help. I was just with Curtis Sutton at Rackley Roofing. They're always looking for help, and you know, if you saw that article on them last week, they did, you know, they gave $1 million in raises this year in Rackley, you know, in one-time raises, bonuses, and 401k match. So there's some really good places around here that are looking for help. So if you're one of those people looking for a job, or you know somebody looking for a job, now's the time to be out there, and you know, you can get those good jobs because people are looking.
Well, you know, I'm breaking your thought there, but if you go back to the storm, another good thing that came out of that was we now have a Smith County Disaster Relief Fund.
We do. We have Smith County Disaster Fund. That was something that was needed to be started. Got started. They've worked hard. They've helped. Not only did they help people during the tornado, they've actually helped some families that have had some losses due to fire or other things. So that, you know, that's what that was built for, and it's doing a good thing.
Well, one of the other things, when the Smith County has the Hunger Relief Fund that started again this year in 2020, and it's paying for a lot of the, you know, we have a food drive that you support.
Right.
In fact, we couldn't do it without your support. Yeah. We have that food drive twice a month, and this Friday, and then next month, we have a full truck coming in. Those trucks, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but they cost $2,500. And it's a full trailer tractor truck load full of non-perishable food. And they bring that in, and we distributed that to folks here in Smith County. And I think we have made a major dent in the hunger problem here in Smith County with that program.
That's the Second Harvest one, correct?
That is Second Harvest. And then you also have, now you may have to name them, I think there's one they call Commodities, which is UCHRA.
It's UCHRA, that's more of a government program, but Second Harvest, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, they do that. They do the one that you pay the $2,500 for. So that's a good thing, you know. So that's here for those people people to help.
Right, and that money is raised through donations,
Right.
Churches and individuals
Absolutely.
Around here. And I want to, for the mayor and myself both, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and you know, and you and I both believe that that's what we as Christians and churches are supposed to do is to fill those needs and help those needs, because, you know, us being two small government conservatives, we don't really believe the government should get involved in a lot of stuff. So when the churches can step up and individuals can step up and do those things, that's much better.
Would it be appropriate to say amen?
Amen. So, but going back to some of the good stuff this year, back early, the Governor Lee had put money aside to send back directly to the counties and to the cities. So at the first time it was going to be, I think our first was $656,000 was our allotment. There were some strings attached into how you had to spend that money. Once COVID hit, they kind of got out of the legislature, recessed early. They changed it and actually upped the amount. Smith County ended up getting $826,000 in one-time money back to us to be used for, basically what we use it for is to buy capital project equipment that we needed but didn't have another way to buy at that time. So with that money, we have bought, the first purchase was, and just took delivery of it last week, was a new tanker for Central District Fire Department. We replaced a 20-year-old engine that was rusting out and giving problems, so we were able to do that and get that done. We did end up buying 2 new side boom tractors for the highway department so they can keep right-of-ways clean. And we did also buy them an oil distributor, a new oil distributor. They hadn't had an oil distributor over there in probably 30 years. But we were able to buy that for them. So I know you're probably not seeing that right now, but that's coming. I also got on the phone with Mr. Coble yesterday. We called him yesterday. It was his birthday, and wished him a happy birthday. And he's doing good. His crew's doing good. He's making progress, so that's good to know. And always keep the prayers coming for Steve and his family, and as they go through this. The aftermath of his accident at home that day. But, you know, they're putting money back for when spring comes, and they're going to hit some roads and get some roads fixed in better shape. So excited about that. So we'll be able to see a good return on that money for that. We did a bond sale about 2 weeks ago and refinanced a lot of our long-term debt. We're able to save $1.5 million in interest and cut some terms off of our notes, probably about cut 6 to 7 years off some long-term debt. So that's exciting. One thing with the pandemic that more people have shopped local. So that is a good thing. So the sales tax dollars have been staying in Smith County. I did get a figure this morning. Last year in October, the state legislature enacted where they collect internet sales tax. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw this figure yet. They collect internet sales tax now. So if you go to Amazon, you go to Walmart, Land's End, all those, and buy something online, you're charged a sales tax just like you would if you went to a mom and pop brick and mortar store. That money started coming back into the counties and the state last year in October. I got the numbers today, and Smith County saw about a $600,000 increase in sales tax dollars just by doing that.
That's wonderful, and that's money that we desperately need.
Absolutely, and that's money that comes into Smith County, goes to the cities and the school board. The school board gets half of that. So I did call and let Director Smith know about that today, and he wanted to come over and hug me and take a picture. And I said, no, don't worry about that. Hug your legislators. They're the ones that got that done. Yeah. So we appreciate that. Anytime that we can keep those monies here. And I'm a big user. You know, if you're going to have to pay taxes, it should be on something that you purchase, something you do. So I like that. It's something that will help us, hopefully, in the future, be able to reduce those property tax rates.
Okay, well now that's wonderful about the sales tax, and it sounds like the local economy is still
strong right
well.
now. Yeah.
Okay, there on the industrial front, there's been some big moves.
We officially do not have an empty building left, Bill. A company out of Indiana, and I'm sure there'll be a grand opening, but they are a supplier to our biggest manufacturer, Bonnell. Oh, yeah. They've bought the old, I call it the General Spring and Wire building. Some people call it the Globe building. Some people call it, the different ones. Those General Spring and Wire building, they bought it. They finished the purchase of it last year. I'm not sure. I think they're working on getting their transition plan and moving down here and getting that opened up. We've got some some exciting things. I don't want to speak too much on it yet with our industrial property, our Baker property, that we feel like we may have some really good tenants coming there that's going to buy that property and do some really good things for Smith County. So I don't want to give too much of that away. I'm old-fashioned, superstitious. Don't want to jinx it, but you know, that's a good thing, and that's good. We recently received our TVA Rural Certified Community designation, which is a big help in when you are recruiting those businesses here. They see that and they know that you have done certain things to be able to make yourself more marketable. And I know you and I and Dan Tidcombe with Tennessee Central we were part of that presentation, and it was fun to do, and just glad we got to do it, and honored that we received that designation.
Yeah, that was a big star in our cap, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
For the county. You may not know or have paid as much attention to this, but on the tourism front, even with the COVID-19, when they opened the camping area back up at Cordell Hall, it filled up.
Filled back up, yes.
Yeah, and so we still have people coming in here and getting brochures and people stopping by.
Oh yeah, we're still seeing, and that's the thing about Smith County. These people are coming in, they're visiting our tourist locations and spending the night here, and then they'd look around and go, I think I'd like to live here, because, you see it more and more now today with the these bigger cities. People are looking for a way out and have just a little bit more relaxed lifestyle and a little more simpler. So, we're here for that, and we're glad to, those people to come here.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see them come through, and like you say, a lot of them stick. We are really well off in medical facilities.
Yes,
and what we have here.
We are blessed with having a hospital here locally. If there's one thing that I go to back when the world was different, we could go to meetings with other mayors, you would hear the horror stories of them and their hospitals had closed, or they didn't have a hospital in there. People are having to take 45 and 50-minute rides to a hospital to get that urgent care. That's scary for your citizens. So we're blessed to have Riverview Regional here, and Mike Herman and his staff do a tremendous job.
Yes, they do.
I mean, we recently had a conference call about those guys, and just couldn't talk good enough about what they do and how they do it, and just blessed to have a local hospital.
Well, and another thing I think we're blessed with, and a lot of people, we have a tendency sometimes to take things for granted.
We do.
That we don't see every day.
We do.
And our EMS department, EMA department are outstanding, cut above, I think.
They do a tremendous job. And they, you take those guys, the EMAs, the EMS, the sheriff deputies that have been out in the front lines of this COVID, and, your hospital people, those people have been the ones that have been out there every day in this and risking their health to help others. And, and there's not a better example of service than what those public safety people do.
Yeah, that's true. I live in Lancaster, and some of Sheriff Steve Hopper's deputies, they come through on a regular basis, and I see them out in other parts of the county, and those young men and young ladies, they are outstanding people.
They do.
And then you take the EMS, Mr. Jeff Crockett, I believe he's heading that up.
Heads that up.
And the other day, I took youth leadership over to one of the Station 1. And we went through one of the ambulances there, and they showed them what they could do. And it is amazing at the technology that they have just on those ambulances.
Yeah.
And they can actually, if you're having a heart episode, they can get to a heart surgeon while they're in the truck, and they can tell them what to do.
Right.
And so it's pretty amazing. And then the Carthage Parade was recently. And I got to looking at the trucks as they went by, and we have 2 ladder trucks in the county
now.
Do. And I can remember not too long ago we had none.
Yeah, South Carthage and Carthage both have those.
Both have ladder trucks, and then we've got the EMA has that extrication unit and several other vehicles that I know you had helped them get, and that stuff like that is really crucial for us.
And again, it goes back to I believe the government does very limited things, and one of those is public safety. And when I consider public safety, I consider law enforcement, EMS, EMA, and fire, and our first responders. Not a lot of people know we have that first responder program where that guy's sitting at his house, and he may be 2 miles from you, and that ambulance may be 10 miles from you on another call. But that guy jumps out of his recliner and comes to you with his bag and starts that primary care on you before that ambulance gets there. So that's saving lives and doing a wonderful thing. So I don't ever want to, like I said, they don't get a lot of fanfare. They're not, but those guys do a tremendous job too. They're a part of that public safety. And my philosophy, again, is we want to do that public safety aspect, good schools, good roads. And that's what government does, and we want to be the best at the best when we do that. I had a meeting with a department here a while back, and they were talking about some changes, and I said, find out who the best in the state is, and find out the best rural county in the state that's doing that, and let's figure out how to be 1% better than them.
There you go. You've got a first this year, too. This is the first year on the tax anticipation?
Yes, we did not borrow a tax anticipation note this year. First time in 20 years. Decades. Yeah. So that's something that good. Again, that was one of those things that caused the issues we had a year ago and caused the, I dare say, the tax raise again, but we're fixing that problem. We think if the economy stays the way it is, that we're going to have that that fund balance built to where we can operate and never have to get back in that situation again in 2 years instead of 3. And my goal, and I'm not afraid to say it on camera, my goal is a tax rate reduction for next year.
Okay, well, I'd like to see. And I will scream
that from the roof. I don't have a vote on it, but I'm going to do everything I can to get that done.
Right, and I think that the county is headed in the right direction so that you can ask for something like that. That's really huge. So the budget is in line and everything's going.
Yeah, we're coming up on midpoint of our fiscal year. That'll end in December. So I'm excited to kind of look at those figures and see where we're at and how we're going.
Okay.
Like I said, I know, we continuously see our sales tax numbers are meeting or beating expectations, so that's a good thing. Again, that money that the governor sent back to the counties was a big help because it allowed us to build that capital projects and get some stuff bought that we wouldn't have normally got. We would have been in a bind to buy. And so now we were able to buy that stuff. We've built that capital projects fund. We're building it up. So when we do have to buy those police cars, those ambulances, those next whatever next is needed to the road department, we have the money in the bank. We basically buy what we need, and then we don't borrow the money to do it. We pay for it.
That is wonderful. Well, the only thing I know that we didn't really mention in particular is the two of our big assets. We mentioned Cordell Hall Lake from a tourism standpoint, the Caney Fork River and the Cumberland River.
Right.
And we have a lot of fly fishermen that come to the Caney Fork and also kayakers. And then we have a lot of bass and rockfish fishermen that fish
come in
the
certain time.
Cumberland.
You can tell when they're biting. Yeah, you can tell when rockfish are biting because you go by the hotel out here and you'll see all those boats in the parking lot. Those big boats that are not just your normal fishing boats.
Yeah, and so we're an area that we're blessed with those two rivers that I think give us a lot of tourism that comes in, and not just outside, but tourists from around the surrounding area. And of course, we have another distinction that a lot of people don't know. We have the longest creek in the world.
Yep, it empties into the Caney Fork,
Smith Fork Creek.
Yep,
and it just likes a few feet being a river. So, I think that's pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
Well, Mayor, I don't know if there's anything you want to say about that.
It's that time of year, so I would just like to say to each and every citizen out there, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you once again for trusting me and allowing me to be the mayor. I absolutely love my job. There's not a better place in the world to be than Smith County, Tennessee. It's actually, we've turned it into a kind of a slogan. We are what's still right with the world here, and I believe that with my heart every day because of the people of this county and what we do and how we do what we do. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Again, 2020 has been a challenge, but we're getting through it. We're going to be all right. and hoping for bigger and better things in 2021. Bill, thank you for all the work you do. I thank Kobe behind the camera for the work he does at the Insider. All our media is one good thing that, small town media, we've got Kobe and his guys that do it online stuff and that. The Courier, Dennis over here at the radio station is always willing to help. Anytime you need to go on the radio and do something, say something, Dennis is there to help. Kobe and his guys the same way.
Well, and Dennis and Jim West over there, they do a great job. One other we need to mention is DTC, of course.
DTC. We almost forgot.
Are huge.
I was on the phone with Chris Townsend this morning, and I'm sure, we've made this announcement and everybody knows, but broadband is going into Kenny's Bend, Lock 7, Hiawassee area, and some of Wilson County. Chris is we're going to review some maps coming in the next couple of weeks. Chris said this morning he feels like between what DTC is doing, what Twin Lakes is doing on the eastern end, northeastern side, and north central on the southwest side, that we could be to just shy of full coverage of any citizen in this county having access to broadband gig internet. And that's huge.
That is.
Because if we see, you see how the world has changed, how many people are working from home days. So that made that our kids are at home now with the hybrid schedules and the remote learning, how important that is for our future, for our world.
Absolutely. And thank you, DTC, for that.
New website, I don't know, smithcotn.com is our new county website. We're pretty proud of that and what it is. So go check that out.
Yeah, a lot of good information on there, and we're glad to have that. Well, Mayor, thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Glad to do it. Again, anytime me and you get together and talk, it's always a good thing.
Always.
But again, thank you to Smith County, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.